With the public engagement forum at the Bomas of Kenya concluded on Tuesday, the United Democratic Alliance Secretary General Cleophas Malala, while presenting the Kenya Kwanza petition to the National Dialogue Committee, reiterated that legislation should bar political leaders who lead violent demonstrations in the country from vying any political seat.
The legislation should specifically address and provide mechanism to bar political leaders who lead violent demonstrations from vying from any further elective position.
The former Kakamega senator added his voice, saying organizers of demonstrations should gazette the venue of demonstrations and indicate the reason for demonstration.
Further, the legislation should mandate the organizers of the demonstration to gazette the venue, time, and reason for picketing. The legislation should provide measures that will ensure the leaders and organizers of violent demonstrations, which may occasion destruction of property and loss of life, to be held liable. These will encourage sanity and order in our political class.
Malala said the official opposition leader should sit in the National Assembly. This, he said, will help to oversight the government.
On the issue of the leader of opposition, we propose that he sits in government in National Assembly so that he can be able to oversight the government ably.
A Muhaya member of Parliament, Omboko Milemba, added to Malala's voice, supporting the creation of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, saying it will help create liaison between the cabinet and the cabinet secretaries.
On the issue of being emphatic on the entrenchment of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, I think first it was because of time. Second is a matter of semantics. We started by saying that we draw our wisdom from the contents encapsulated in the memorandum from the President to the National Assembly. So whatever the contents are encapsulated in that memorandum, we share the same wisdom.
We strongly support the entrenchment of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary into the Constitution, and we had an array of notes on this. But of course, due to time, we may have not done so much, but we stand for it. And this will help to create liaison and supervision, which is a pivotal role within the Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet. So we strongly stand for it and we support it.
Furthermore, Malala said elections should be transparent and election audit should be accepted, as it will demonstrate the democracy of the country.
We can audit the process. We look into areas which we can improve as a country, because elections are supposed to be transparent and in a manner that people can be participating in the formulation of the rules of the election.
Kenya Kwanza leaders said political parties should be strengthened. They said this can be only achieved through recruiting of members. This comes as United Democratic Alliance Secretary General Cleophas Malala calls for all Kenya Kwanza affiliate parties to fold.
I want to strongly agree with the Secretary General of the Ford Kenya that let us strengthen political parties, because we fought so much in this country. We shed blood to achieve the multi-party democracy. And therefore, our position is that let us strengthen political parties. But the big question is, how do you strengthen your political party? You strengthen by recruiting members. So if in an instance you can recruit members from a particular political party to a point whereby that political party is no longer viable, you can decide to take up the entire membership of a political party and bring to your... So strengthening, you must strengthen your political party by recruiting members. And that is our position, that let us strengthen, let us compete, and that is multi-democracy that we fought for.
Nonetheless, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka said in Kenya, one has to steal election so as to win.
I think you do need to give us specific proposals on which aspects. For example, the Election Campaign Financing Act, unless you have stolen in this country, you have no hope of winning an election. That is my own, I put it to you, and prove me wrong, that unless you steal and steal big, yeah, you cannot win an election in Kenya. You may disagree with that proposal, okay, yeah, And because that is a perception.
However, leaders from the Teso community in Western Kenya on Tuesday argued their case on why they need a county of their own.
So because we are unique, we are Nilots. We speak a unique language. We found ourselves lumped together with the Bantus, which were my majority in Busia.
Appearing before the National Dialogue Committee, Teso leaders said they are marginalized being under Busia County. She added that the community has not been able to develop cultural values, languages, and practices.
We found ourselves within Busia County, where a majority of the population are Bantus. So therefore, we feel marginalized. We have been historically marginalized. In fact, Busia is being referred, or Western region is referred to as the Mlembe Nation. We struggle to actually create that space and get our recognition in whichever forum that we find ourselves in.
Emase says the claim is an indicator of the Teso as a minority and a manifestation of the clear intentions to intimidate, silence, and suppress voices of minority communities in the region. Emase added that the Teso community also qualified to have a county because of their large population.
I want to demystify the myth on population, and it has been alluded to by Honorable Kalori. In fact, we are referred to like at the Tesos cannot fill a wheelbarrow. And when we look, Teso people have requested for their own county so that we can manage our own affairs. We have different tradition, culture, food, way of.
Mesh Msimbi, Maisha Prime News.